Hello? Who is there? Who are you? You're so badly injured. What happened to you? I see. Wait. You're from the Night Watch. What brings you so far to the south? Really? I'm afraid there's not much I can do for you now. Me? Well, I came into this cave to hide, to be honest. Now I can't seem to find my way back. Might as well stay with you for a bit. How long have you been here? Well, it looks like a pretty long time. You wanna know what's going on in Westeros? Well, Westeros is 3,000 miles long. How do you expect me to know all about the 7 kingdoms? And the land beyond the wall? The North. The Iron Islands. The Vale. The Riverlands. The Westerlands. The Reach. The Stormlands. The Crownlands. Dorne. And all the land beyond the wall. Don't look at me like that. I don't know more than anybody else does. Do you want to know what it is I know? Well, I know that Dorne is separated from the rest of Westeros by red hills. Its ruling house is House Martell, and the bastards there assume the name of Sand, though they are not ashamed of their bastards, of course. You want me to keep going? All right. The Reach lies to the west is the stronghold of House Tyrell. They rule from the castle high garden, and their bastards take the last name Flowers, like everything else. They are filthy rich and quite arrogant too, knowing that all the continent depends on their goods, since the Reach is the most fertile region of the whole continent. Then the Stormlands. Oh yes, the seat of House Baratheon, from the castle Storm's End. Can you guess how they named their bastards? Storm, of course. And House Tarth, of course, is part of that region. We have the Crownlands. The worst place of them all. The seat of the Iron Throne, which is ruler of all Westeros. That is one coveted chair. All the world seems to be after that throne. I guess you've been here for too long to know what's going on. Me? I don't know a single thing. What I can tell you, as you know, is that the Iron Throne is in King's Landing, the capital city, and one place I hope never to see again. They name their bastards Waters. There must be more waters than anything else around there. And then we have the Westerlands, Kingdom of House Lannister. A Lannister always pays his debts. They rule the Westerlands from Casterly Rock, a huge fortress. And they are filthy rich due to the overwhelming numbers of silver and gold mines. And they name their bastards Hill. Oh, gosh. House Lannister. Pure evil. Mm-hmm. 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 Who are you, the proud lord said, that I must bow so low? Only a cat of a different coat, that's all the truth I know. In a coat of gold or a coat of red, a lion still has claws, and mine are long and sharp, my lord, as long and sharp as yours. And so he spoke, and so he spoke, that Lord Castamere. But now the rains weep o'er his halls, with no one there to hear. Yes, now the rains weep o'er his halls, and not a soul to hear. And who are you, the proud lord said, that I must bow so low? Only a cat of a different coat, that's all the truth I know. In a coat of gold or a coat of red, a lion still has claws, and mine are long and sharp, my lord, as long and sharp as yours. And so he spoke, and so he spoke, that Lord Castamere. And now the rains weep o'er his halls, with no one there to hear. Yes, now the rains weep o'er his halls, and not a soul to hear. Yeah, then of course we have the Riverlands with the Trident, its main river. You can imagine that their bastards go by the name Rivers. For many years, the land was ruled by the House Tully. But now it's in the hand of House Frey. Disgusting people. Harrenhal Castle. Yeah. Another place I don't want to set foot in ever again. What else? The Iron Islands. The land of the Greyjoys from Castle Pike. And this is also the name they give to their bastards, by the way. Pike, that is. It's a nasty place. Then there's the Vale, which is actually a quite beautiful place. It's also called the Vale of Arryn, since it's ruled by House Arryn from Castle Eyrie, located high above the ground in the snowy mountains of the moon. Their bastards they name Stone. I've always found it strange that in all of the 7 kingdoms, people are ashamed of their bastards. And still there are so many that they even invented names for them. Then the largest of all the 7 kingdoms, the North, ruled by House Stark from Winterfell. Some of the nicest people I've ever met, and believe me, I've met quite a few. It's so cold there that they name their bastards Snow. The North is also closest to the wall that separates Westeros from the land beyond the wall. And may the gods, or whatever you believe in, save us from what's coming from there. See, that's all I know. Not more than anybody else. You don't seem to believe me. Well, but who am I to deny a dying man his last wish? You want me to keep talking? Essos. What is this? Are you testing me? It's not like I have anything else to do, so. Essos, as you very well know, is the largest continent, and it's hot. The further south you go, the hotter. Dani is the main part of the land, you could say, and it's divided into many distinct regions. There are the free cities, that are 9 independent cities located on the west coast: Bravos, Myr, Pentos, Volantis, Lorath, Lys, Tyrosh, Norvos, and Gor. And except for Bravos, every other city is a remnant of the mighty Valyrian Empire. To the east lies the vast, dead grassland they call the Dothraki Sea, because it's inhabited by the Dothraki, barbarous people. They're headed by their Khals, the strongest man of their people. Then there's Slaver's Bay, that contains the slave cities of Yunkai, Mirin, and Astapor, where they create the unsullied. And believe me, you don't want to have to stand against them. To the extreme east, there is Karth, and the warlocks hailing there have been trying very hard to kill Dani. And then east and south from there are mysterious lands. But I have only been to Ashai. I've met someone from there recently. A woman, clad in red. Why do you want to hear all this? This is common knowledge. Everybody knows that. You've lost most parts of your memory. You don't even remember your name. That's horrible. So you don't remember anything. Okay. Of course, I can tell you about our history. I happen to have a map with me, so maybe that helps you a bit. Well, before men made an appearance, the land of Westeros was inhabited by short, human-like creatures we call the children of the forest. There also existed giants and other magical creatures. We don't know much about Essos, but we do know that they had an established society with kingdoms and warriors. Around 13,000 years ago, we had the first men who came from Essos invade Westeros from the south. They pushed further and further into the land, establishing kingdoms and settling all over the place, and constantly clashing with the children. Some 2,000 years into that, the men and the children made a pact to live peacefully. The men started adopting the customs and the gods of the children, and 4,000 years after the pact, House Stark was founded by Brandon the Builder. We also had the founding of House Lannister, and the kings take control of the Reach, Storm's End, and Iron Islands. Then came the long night. It was the longest, darkest, and coldest winter in history, lasting almost 100 years, followed by a long period of darkness. It was at this time that the others, who in the north they call the White Walkers, moved down from the furthest north, the land of always winter, wreaking havoc and fear in Westeros, killing almost all men. But they were eventually defeated when the long night came to an end, It is said that they were led by a great hero named Azor Ahai. Within the next century, Bran the Builder built the massive fortification made of ice and called it the Wall. I don't know how much of your memory you have lost, but you are part of the sworn brotherhood called the Night Watch that also was created to protect the Wall. Wildlings, humans who wish to be free and not a part of the Seven Kingdoms, live beyond the Wall and in constant battle with the Night Watch. A couple of thousand years later, the Andals arrived from the east and entered Westeros through what is now the Vale of Arryn. There was constant fighting with the first men and the children, and gradually overthrew every ruler except the Stark King, thus establishing the Arryn bloodline. Meanwhile in Essos, dragons were discovered in volcanoes by Valyrian shepherds, who tamed them by magic and gained power, establishing the kingdom of Valyria. Constant warring ensued in Essos for almost 4,000 years. At this point, Nymeria, a warrior princess from the kingdom of Rhoyne, set sail for southern Westeros. Here, she met and married Lord Martell after burning her 10,000 ships. And thus was established Dorne, and House Martell was formed. Valyrian freehold gained power over most of Essos, except for the secret city of Bravos that was founded by religious leaders who had taken refuge in the hills to the west. A Valyrian noble family called the Targaryens took hold of an island close to Westeros and built a castle whose tower was shaped like a dragon, and called it Dragonstone. Meanwhile in the north, House Bolton, who are located at Dreadfort in the realm of the Starks, rebelled against Starks for many generations, but finally swore fealty to them approximately 1,000 years ago. Soon followed the doom of Valyria, a mysterious catastrophe involving volcanoes that burned down the Valyrian Empire. But the Targaryens were still strong on Dragonstone because of the power of the last 3 dragons. Bravos revealed itself to the world, becoming powerful due to its banks, and the free cities and cities of Slaver's Bay were liberated. The Targaryens, Aegon the Conqueror and his 2 sister consorts, then migrated to Westeros on dragons, conquering all kingdoms except Dorne and founding King's Landing, thus establishing the House Targaryen. For the next 200 years, Westeros was plagued by civil wars and was once even led by Aegon's rumored bastard half-brother, the first of the Baratheons. All the dragons were killed, and the last of the Targaryen kings was Aerys, the Mad King. the control of Highgarden passes to House Tyrell. House Tully of Riverrun takes control of the Riverlands, and House Greyjoy become the rulers of the Iron Islands. A few hundred years later, Rhaegar Targaryen abducted Lyanna Stark, and Lyanna's brother and father demanded that Aerys discipline his son, but instead the Mad King killed them both. Aerys demanded the heads of Robert Baratheon and Eddard Stark from their ward, Jon Arryn, but instead the houses Arryn, Stark, and Baratheon raised the standard of rebellion. Robert's rebellion, also called the War of the Usurper, began. The Hand of the King, Jon Connington, was defeated in the Battle of the Bells and was sent into exile in the Free Cities. The rebel army defeated the Royalists at the Battle of the Trident, where Prince Rhaegar was killed. The Lannisters apparently marched to the aid of King Aerys, but instead turned against him and sacked the city. King Aerys was killed by Jaime Lannister, and Princess Elia Martell and her children Aegon and Rhaenys Targaryen were brutally murdered by Lannister bannermen, causing a rift between Eddard Stark and Robert Baratheon. Robert became king of the Seven Kingdoms and married Cersei Lannister. Eddard Stark returned home to Winterfell with his bastard son, Jon Snow. I don't know if you met him. He's also of the Night's Watch. The loyal Targaryen retainers carried Aerys' two youngest children, Prince Viserys and Princess Daenerys, to safety in the Free Cities. Yeah, well, and that's about all I know.